A very good afternoon and welcome to the midday news on Rajya Sabha television, where we get you the biggest developing news stories at the top of one. I'm Aishwarya and these are the headlines. Opposition parties led by Congress give notice for impeachment of the Chief Justice of India to Rajya Sabha Chairman Venkaiah Naidu. Motion submitted after opposition meeting in Parliament House earlier today. Disturbed about public statements on impeachment of judges, says the Supreme Court, seeks Attorney General's assistance to deal with the plea to stop media from reporting of such statements. Gujarat High Court acquits former BJP Minister Maya Kudnani in the 2002 Naroda Patia riot case. Court upholds a life imprisonment term of former Bajrang Dal leader Babu Bajrangi. Vice President calls for civil servants to reorient themselves to become catalysts of change for aspirational India. Hailing them as the best in the world, says that they need to come up with alternative strategies to improve existing system. And India to double its contribution to Commonwealth Fund for Technical Cooperation. Prime Minister Modi stresses on moral responsibility of richer nations to help weaker states at Chogum. PM to meet German Chancellor Angela Merkel at the end of 5-day foreign tour. The biggest developing news story this hour: opposition parties met in Parliament today to give shape to the impeachment motion against the Chief Justice of India. Members of the Congress, CPI and NCP attended the meeting and they then proceeded to submit the notice to Chairman of Rajya Sabha M. Venkaiah Naidu. The impeachment motion is against the Chief Justice of India, Deepak Mishra. All right, this is the biggest news story that we are getting at the top of one. The opposition parties today met in Parliament and they gave a shape to the impeachment motion against Chief Justice of India, Deepak Mishra. Now, reports say that the members of the Congress Party, CPI and NCP attended the meeting, and after the meeting, they went to Chairman of Rajya Sabha M. Venkaiah Naidu to submit the notice to him. Let's go across to my colleague Kriti Mishra, who is joining us for more details. Kriti, we understand that the opposition has moved for Chief Justice Deepak Mishra's impeachment, and reports say that close to 60 MPs have signed this impeachment notice. What more can you tell us? Kriti, can you hear me?
Yes, Aishwarya.
Kriti, what more can you tell us about this opposition moving for Chief Justice Deepak Mishra's impeachment today?
Well, Aishwarya, the opposition parties led by the Congress today met Rajya Sabha Chairman and handed over reportedly a notice for impeachment of Chief Justice of India, Deepak Mishra. Reportedly, over 60 MPs of the Rajya Sabha belonging to 7 political parties gave the notice for the impeachment against the CJI. The MPs who signed the notice belong to the Congress Party, the NCP, the CPM, the CPI, the SP and the BSP. The leaders of Congress and CPI and NCP met in Parliament earlier in the day to give final shape to the notice for the impeachment. But remember, Aishwarya, right now these political parties led by the Congress are holding a press conference wherein they will elaborate on the reasons for moving this impeachment. But Aishwarya, remember, this is a very cumbersome process, because the first step for such an act is issue of a notice motion by 100 MPs from the Lok Sabha or 50 MPs from the Rajya Sabha. Now, this motion can be either admitted or rejected by the chairman or the speaker. And if in case the speaker or the chairman decides to accept it, then a three-member...
We'll get more details. Right now, the opposition parties are holding a press conference. Let's cut across live.
We were with him for about 40 minutes. So we have moved a motion for impeachment for the removal of Chief Justice of India under 5 listed grounds of misbehavior. We have sought his removal under Article 217, read with Article 124, bracket 4 of the Constitution of India. So while submitting this motion to Honorable Chairman, we did not discuss the merits. We just requested him that this is our motion and the number required for the motion to entertain and under the Constitution of India, the number required for the chairman to take action or to entertain the motion has to be minimum 50 members. So we have submitted a motion signed by 71 members of the parliament, but we have also given him in writing that there are 7 signatures of honorable members who are meanwhile retired. So we have said in the letter that those 7 members should not be counted out of the 71 members. So I am sure that the minimum requirement, more than the minimum requirement to entertain the motion, that much number we have submitted, and we are very much sure that Honorable Chairman will take action, and we expect, of course, as positive action, as all the opposition parties are expecting that. Now, about the details, about the 5 points which I have mentioned are the grounds of misbehavior, I would request Mr. Kapil Sibalji to mention in detail. You can come to my place.
All right, Congress's Ghulam Nabi Azad there giving details of the impeachment notice against the CJI. He says that 71 MPs have signed it and that the notice has been submitted to Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu. And meanwhile, the Supreme Court has said that public statements, including some being made by the lawmakers on impeachment of judges, is very unfortunate. The top court has said this while hearing a plea that seeks to restrain the media from reporting on issue of impeachment motion. The court said that we all are very disturbed about this. The apex court also sought the Attorney General's assistance to deal with the PIL that seeks restrictions on the media. On to some other news now. The Gujarat High Court today upheld the life imprisonment sentence to Bajrang Dal leader Babu Bajrangi in the 2002 Naroda Patia massacre case. However, the court acquitted a former BJP minister Maya Kudnani in the case. The court delivered its final verdict on appeals against the special SID court's order in the year 2012, in which 32 persons, including a former minister Maya Kudnani, were convicted and 29 others were acquitted. The SIT court had awarded former Minister Maya Kudnani a 28-year jail term for inciting violence, and Bajrangi was awarded imprisonment till death. While all the convicts appealed against their convictions, the SIT sought enhancing of the sentences of the 3 convicts and also appealed against the acquittal of 7 accused. 97 people were killed in riots in Naroda Patia, a suburb of Ahmedabad, following the Godhra train burning of 27th of February 2002.
बारह आदमी को जो नीचे जिनका कन्विक्शन हुआ था उनका कन्विक्शन कायम रखा और 3 आदमी को जहां नीचे छोड़ दिया था इसमें भी उन्होंने कन्विक्शन किया और बाकी सबको उन्होंने छोड़ दिया। तीन जन, बाबू बजरंगी, प्रकाश राठौड़ एंड सुरेश लंगड़ो छारा, वो तीन जन का उन्होंने 120B क्रिमिनल कॉन्स्पिरेसी में भी लगाया है।
And now news from Prime Minister's foreign visit, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended the 25th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in London on Thursday, and the Prime Minister was received by the British Prime Minister Theresa May and Commonwealth Secretary General as well. Now, during the two-day executive sessions at the Chogam, the main issues discussed were strengthening democracy and the rule of law, the state of the international trading system, achieving the sustainable development goals and climate action, and security issues faced by the Commonwealth nations. Prime Minister Modi made several key interventions at the sessions, where he stressed on capacity building of small states and small islands that are part of the Commonwealth fold. He also announced a doubling of India's contribution at the Commonwealth Fund for Technical Cooperation for Small Island States.
One was to enhance our contribution to the Commonwealth Fund for Technical Cooperation, and we basically doubled our contribution, announced a doubling of our contribution. We are also going to look at ways of finding, assisting in small projects that we could do for Commonwealth countries through interaction with them at New York in the permanent mission, through our permanent mission of India to the UN. Then we are also doubling our contribution to the Commonwealth Small States offices in New York and Geneva. So this would help them to enhance their capacity in dealing with multilateral issues of concern to them.
And apart from this, the Prime Minister also highlighted the need for working together for achieving SDGs and cooperation on climate action as well. India also announced a cricket training for youngsters from the Commonwealth nations.
With the help of BCCI, we would be organizing training for 30 young boys and 30 young girls under the age of 16 in cricket. So this is another area, I think, which has evoked a lot of interest.
Significance behind our stepped-up contribution to the Commonwealth Fund for Technical Cooperation, because this is a common pot of gold within the organization that enhances the Secretariat's ability, the Commonwealth Secretariat's ability to render or deliver demand-driven assistance rather than donor-driven assistance. And accentuating that ability within the Commonwealth Secretariat is important if you really want to enhance or revitalize the Commonwealth platform, which is the idea behind all this.
And apart from attending the multilateral Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in London, Prime Minister Modi also held bilateral meetings on the sidelines. Prime Minister Modi met with his counterparts from Bangladesh, Australia and the President of Seychelles. After PM Modi met with Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Ravish Kumar tweeted, PM Modi and PM of Bangladesh Sheikh Hasina had a productive exchange of views on various issues of bilateral interest. Prime Minister Modi also met Seychelles President Danny Faure and discussed cooperation in the area of trade and investment and other bilateral issues. And cementing close friendship with Mauritius, PM Modi also met his Mauritius counterpart Praveen Kumar Jugnauth and talked about cooperation in trade and investment, maritime cooperation and people-to-people ties. Prime Minister Modi also had informal meetings with his counterparts from Australia, Fiji, St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda and Trinidad and Tobago. And Modi also interacted with the presidents of Kiribati, Uganda and Gambia. All right, my colleague, Foreign Affairs editor Akhilesh Suman is now joining us live from London. Akhilesh, very productive executive session of Chogam was seen yesterday, with India also making some very important interventions, and PM Modi also held bilateral meetings on the sidelines of the summit. So what are the main takeaways of PM Modi's UK visit?
Yeah, actually, Aishwarya, at such an occasion where there are so many countries together, it is time for every country to showcase their own country, and so is India doing too. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi had showcased the International Solar Alliance that was established by him in collaboration with French. This was an opportunity that you could have hard sailed, and he has really hard sailed it. And there are almost 33 countries of CHOGM who really are vulnerable, and many of them are island nations whose existence might dissipate because of climate change. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi says that this is the right occasion that we should work together how to minimize the carbon emission, and also how to take the alternative sources of energy so that the global warming can go down. And it was well taken by the countries who held actually that such an initiative was really needed. And other thing that Prime Minister Narendra Modi also made that, the doubling of grant. He has said that grant was becoming a problem for the smaller nations, and these nations need grant what they need it for. Sometimes the grants goes on the basis of what they want to give. But Prime Minister Narendra Modi made it very clear that grants should be according to the necessity of that particular country, not according to the privileges and technical feasibility of the donor country. So this was also well taken by the member nations. And what I am getting from my sources that almost 45 out of 53 nations of CHOGM are one with India on both the issues. So it was in a way very interesting thing that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has sold the country, hard sold the countries, and he that he has also spoken to the NRIs and PIO that also has created an impression among the CHOGM nations that the Prime Minister is speaking from London to his own people.
Yes.
So this was really interesting, Aishwarya. And I will also take you to one of the editorials that Times newspaper of London has written. It is the prime newspaper of London. And it has written very clearly that the development of CHOGM depends heavily on India because it is the largest economy in the whole conglomeration. But it also mentioned that the treatment by UK has not been very fair to India, and it is really time for UK to rise up to the reality that India is a country with whom you can grow and with whom CHOGM can grow. If you minus India for any parochial region, I'd give importance to countries like China. CHOGM is going nowhere. So this is very clear message from the Prime Minister, from the people of Britain also, and also now newspapers are writing the same thing. So I think this is very successful endeavor of Prime Minister in the CHOGM meeting yesterday.
Absolutely. So today it is going to be a retreat at the Windsor Castle, after which the summit will conclude with the leaders issuing their communique as well as statement. Thank you so much, Akhilesh, for all those updates there from London. And today, Prime Minister Modi is slated to attend the retreat at the Grand Waterloo Chamber of Windsor Castle, and all the members of the Commonwealth will get together in an informal setting without any preset agenda or being accompanied by their top advisors. British Prime Minister Theresa May will hold a concluding news conference to mark the end of the CHOGM later tonight. And after completing his visit to Sweden and the UK, PM Modi will be making a brief stopover in Berlin. There he's slated to meet Chancellor Angela Merkel, and this will be the first meeting between the two leaders since Merkel began her fourth term as a German Chancellor on 14th of March. And in midday news, we'll take a very short break here. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to Security Scan. I am Vishal Dahiya, and this week we will discuss the new vistas in the defense production sector in India.
Core technology. It never comes to you. You have to put in the research and put in the money, put in the effort.
We have to create that ecosystem for primary research.
We can make it a buyer's market. And technology transfer should be one of the preconditions.
Welcome back after the break. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has said that there is an urgent need to rethink existing governance paradigm. Now, speaking at the inauguration of the two-day Civil Services Day function, he said that the essential gap today is between a grandiose conception and the ground-level implementation. Hailing the Indian civil services are the best in the world, Naidu said that civil servants have an enormous opportunity to serve the country now than ever before. The Vice President also referred to the evils in the society, the backdrop of the recent rape cases and the issue of SC/ST Act. He said that the legislature, executive, judiciary and the media need to work together to root them out.
Our country's civil services are among the best in the world. I have no hesitation to say that Indian civil service is the best in the world. There may be few drawbacks or shortcomings, but when you compare and you see the democratic world, India's civil service are the best. They constitute the best and the brightest minds of our country. The civil service constitute the best and the brightest minds of the country. They have the ability to absorb new information and knowledge, adapt to rapidly changing socio-political environment, and address the key challenges in contemporary society. Many of them have the forward-looking strategic vision to guide policy formulations and the drive to make a difference in the service of the country. The essential gap today is between the grandiose conception and the ground level implementation. That is the key issue. There is an urgent need to rethink our existing governance paradigm. There is a need for honest introspection to the effectiveness and efficiency of our administrative structures and processes. It is this introspection and reflection that has made many civil servants, some of whom are getting awards today, tomorrow, to come up with the alternative strategies for improving the system. Translating the legislative intent into programmatic content and demonstrating to the common man, citizens, what Rajya actually looks like in day-to-day administration, the civil services have an enormous opportunity today, like never before, to serve the country and our people. Civil services has to reorient their approach to look upon themselves as the catalysts of change, as facilitators of change, as inspirational leaders for the aspirational India. Now we have a new problem. It's an aspirational India. The evils Dr. Baba Sahib had hinted are the evils including casteism, communalism, corruption, inequity, discrimination and violence, atrocities against weaker sections or women. These evils continue to raise their ugly heads in different parts of the country at different times. They are a blot on our country's history. It's not possible without the government's political will. I do agree. We had a Nirbhaya Act. We had so many acts. But what is happening? We have a SC/ST Act. We have a Dowry Act. What is happening? So you have to change the mindset. And you have to change the attitude of the people. And you have to motivate. And the law also must take its own course. That is what is required. Friends, as leaders in country's governance, it is the collective responsibility of the executive, legislature, and the judiciary and the media to identify, combat, and root out these evils. We need to be sensitive to these unpresent realities. They are unpresent realities. You may just say, no, sir, nothing, only here and there and all. No, they are unpresent realities. They have nothing to do simple party politics. You are seeing it. These are the weaknesses. These weaknesses has to be identified. And then we have to fight against them, both politically, administratively, legally, and also media-wise, and also educationally also.
News from poll-bound Karnataka, where Chief Minister Siddaramaiah will file his nomination papers today for the 12th of May state elections. Now, Siddaramaiah, who won from Varuna in both 2008 and 2013 with a significant margin, is now contesting from Chamundeshwari this year. Now, this time around, Siddaramaiah's son will be contesting from Varuna. The filing of nominations, remember, began on Tuesday. More news from the Congress's camp. Leader NY Gopal Krishna joined the BJP today, and the switch of the parties took place in the presence of BJP's chief ministerial face B.S. Yediyurappa today. And BJP President Amit Shah, who is on a two-day tour of poll-bound Karnataka, met with industrialists and traders from the state on Thursday to discuss various issues with them. During an interaction with the trade and industry leaders, Amit Shah challenged Congress chief Rahul Gandhi to make public if the BJP government has waived the loans of any one industrialist instead of misleading the country. Amit Shah said that AICC president does not know the difference between loan waiver and non-performing assets. He mentioned that addressing problems of SMSEs and MSMSEs is the BJP's top priority. Also answering to a question on the GST, he said that there are problems as far as GST concerned, but it is not permanent. Now, GST Council, which meets regularly, is solving the problems and it will continue to do so, he said this. And that's all in this edition of News. But news and updates continue on your channel. Thanks for watching.